on the stage, but we encourage you to keep your thoughts together, your observations and comments. We're hoping to make sure that last 10 minutes we open the floor up for these conversations as well. Okay. Can we request all our panelists to please stand up for a second for a group picture, and then we'll get into the conversation. Thank you. Thank you so much. Am I audible at the back? Thank you. Okay. Can I request Mr. Arvind Kumar, the Director General of Software Technology Parks of India, to please share with us his opening comments. The context that we set here is the government's largest incubator, seed funder. They're the ones who are taking innovation to tier 2, tier 3 cities. The way we're going to do this is all the panelists and all the speakers on the dais will make 2-minute opening statements, and then we'll pose very specific questions for them. Over to you, sir.
Good morning. So those who are not familiar with STPI, just 2 minutes. So Software Technology Parks of India is a autonomous body of Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. And we support more than 1,800 startups, tech startups in the country. And the best part is these all startups are from tier 2 and tier 3 cities. We have 70 centers across the country. Out of 70 centers, 62 centers are in tier 2, tier 3 cities. Apart from these centers, we have 24 centers of entrepreneurship across the country. And all centers are domain specific, like one maybe could be health tech, another could be for blockchain, AI. So we have such 24 centers, and in 24 centers we provide all type of the support, 360 support to startups from their pre-ideation stage to prototype to market access. This is a whole journey we take. We have multiple schemes of funding, nurturing, incubating, global reach, and number of conferences where our startup used to go. So this is what the STPI is in terms of startup. We have multiple other works also, but this is in terms of startups. So now the here topic is responsible and ethical AI. Out of 1,800 startup, initially there was only 2 centers dedicated to AI. Now in 3 years, all centers basically converted into the AI. So you can't think any technology solution without AI. So it is our responsibility as STPI to ensure that whatever solution is being developed, whatever they are doing in their companies, it should be responsible, ethical, trusted, and safe. There are generally, because there are 5-6 panelists, so I won't take much time, but in a short, generally people are confused with responsible and ethical. These two are different terms, though interconnected. When we say responsible and ethical, we used to call, there are 5 terms. We used to call it FAST P, so which is, one is fairness, and then S for security, T for transparency, P for privacy, and A for accountability. So fairness, accountability, security, transparency, and finally privacy. So these are the 5 terms. But when I say ethical AI is generally little larger term. It is an umbrella term. It is a more generic term, where CEO has the responsibility to look in the bigger things, which means whether this solution is going to affect environment negatively, whether this solution will have some disruption in the jobs. These are the bigger things which any CEO has to see when it comes to ethical AI. When it comes to responsible means when you are making any solution, it should be fair, it should have fairness, which means it should not be biased towards any caste, religion, gender. When we say accountability, we must fix the accountability. Suppose tomorrow there is a driverless car, something mishappens on the road, then who is responsible? Whether the algorithm who has been developed, whether the scientist who has developed the algorithm, whether the company who has developed that car, whether the person who has purchased that car, who is responsible. So I think this accountability has to be fixed. These are the few terms. I will take questions. I think Subi is already in a hurry. Please continue. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Arvindji. I don't think we could have had a better... yes, please, give him a round of applause. We couldn't have asked for a better context setting. This is also the person you go to when you have a brilliant startup idea, when you're looking for space, when you're looking for a home for your idea. I'm so glad that we could have him, and it's a privilege having you with us on the panel. And it's a beautiful segue for me to come to Mr. Ravi Arora. Ravi Arora is the global lead for all multilateral conversations. He leads global public policy and government affairs for MasterCard. And we're so delighted that he decided to come all the way back from Spain, where he was on a flight. Ravi, I request you to make your opening statement in 2 minutes and also set the context why finance and what MasterCard is really doing. Please, over to you.
Well, thank you very much, Subi, and a real pleasure to be here with such a very distinguished panel here. So thank you for having me. I think you certainly are a very trailblazer, and it's wonderful to really be on this very topical, and on day one of AI Summit, Impact Summit on responsible AI for Bharat. So as MasterCard, we've been in India for over 42 years now, and part of the digital transformation agenda of the country. And I think that as a committed partner in that digital transformation, it's really exciting to be here, I think today in Delhi, in India, as part of the world's most influential AI gathering. Now, when we talk about artificial intelligence, it has really crossed a structural threshold, because it's no longer a frontier technology in pilots and things like that. It is part of critical infrastructure, right? And then as AI systems are shaping, whether it is credit access, welfare delivery, healthcare triage, language translation, payments, public services, the question then becomes is whether AI is governable at scale. Right? So, and when you talk about scale, it's only possible if there is underlying and underpinning of trust. Because trust is what determines adoption, and adoption is what determines impact. Right? So in that context, the AI for Bharat vision, I think really represents something very distinctive, because India is positioning artificial intelligence, emphasizing population scale deployment, socio-economic relevance, and system-level resilience, right? Because a lot of it is about resilience that we're going to be talking about. So I think that impact-first orientation, what we are seeing in India, is really is very impact. It's part of everyday life that we are using artificial intelligence. So when we talk about success and responsible AI in Bharat, it is not defined by absence of risk, but by the presence of resilience and accountability and transparency, right? So, and I think we have a lot of lived-in experiences here in India, which drive scale, diversity, inclusion, and it positions Bharat not only as an adopter of global norms, but as a co-author of the next chapter of global AI governance. So we look forward to the discussion ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Ravi. What a beautiful thought. I want to bring in Mr. Ankush Sabharwal, who's the founder and CEO of CoreOver.ai and Bharat GPT. A huge round of applause for Ankush. And he's actually the co-author of India's Dreams for giving us our own sovereign AI. Over to you, Ankush, please.
So great to hear from Arvind sir and Ravi. So when I was in 20s, I used to think the young people are very smart, and why all the leaders are old age people. And now I'm 43, and I think even 20 years old people are smarter, and of course 50 plus years guys are smarter, and I'm the dumbest. So, but I think good thing about me is I keep learning, and that's why we are able to deliver something really great. I would have never imagined we would produce something where 1 billion plus users would use, because I never probably gave so much importance to my dreams and my visions. I was thinking, let's see where we can help society. But I was smart enough to know if I help society, the society would help us build it. So I think, yeah, so the previous session was very interesting to become, AI users to AI creator. I urge everyone who is here, I think you can hear all of these, my Gyan or whatever on YouTube. Since you are here, today I met just outside the hall, founder of Automation Anywhere, Mahir Shukla. I met him earlier, I follow him. So all the great minds are here, right? Just get inspired to be the creator. It's very easy now to become the creator. I always see AI users are three kind of users. One is the end users. You use YouTube. You use YouTube, by the way, is the best AI app. I was just telling in the previous session, right? You don't know you're using AI, but it's an AI. It tells you what you need. YouTube knows better than you yourself. You know about yourself, right? So one is we become the user. We don't have to think. It will come to you through us. Knowingly or unknowingly, you will use it. The second is building the AI platforms. A few techies and PhDs would build it. If you are in that field, you do it. But it's very, very low-hanging and easy to create AI applications. Whatever field you are in, just understand your domain well. So forget about the noise, FOMO, chaos. Go understand your domain first and then go very deep, see where are the gaps, where are the opportunities. Now see where you fit your AI in to achieve your purpose, not some India AI's purpose, or not you have to prove India is the best. We would be best. We are the best in many aspects. Or let's not get into that race. You see how you can be better in your own field. And we have all the tools, all the resources to make us win. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ankush. Very inspiring. And such an important takeaway. Let's go to the field. Let's get inspired. This is not just India's AI Impact Summit. We're talking about bringing the world. We're looking at global frameworks. Let's get down and get our hands dirty and look at putting our money where our mouth is. Look at some very important questions on energy security, food security. I want to bring in one of the youngest and brightest voices in the room, Mr. Vivek Raj. He's the chairman and CEO of Panama Corporation. He has over 42,000 hectares under cultivation. He has about 6 global patents, and he's making sure that the next generation is fed on clean food, and he's working for all people, progress, and planet. Vivek, over to you, 2 minutes, and then we will come to our right. Yes.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Could you hold the mic a little closer? Thank you.
Hi. Good morning, everyone, and thanks for making me a part of this esteemed panel on AI Global Summit. I am Chairman and CEO of Panama Corporation. I am a farmer, and I love farming. Today, I want to talk about agriculture. The agriculture is a sector which has been ignored by all the world leaders. They make beautiful policies, but nothing comes in real sense into the when it comes to actual farming. You need food every 4 to 5 hours in a day, and it is such an important sector, but still it gets less than 5% of the AI investments globally. So I started this farming company in the year 2016. We have been doing research in AI agriculture since 2016 and filed various patents, written international journals, and I have been running successful pilot projects. We are at a turning point in agriculture. For the last decade, vertical farming has focused primarily on optimizing photosynthesis, maximizing plant growth through red and blue LED lighting, controlling nutrients, and climate precision. This was allowed us to grow leafy greens efficiently, but we are honest that was only the first chapter. The next chapter is far more complex. As we move forward, I value fruiting crops like berries, medicinal plants, saffron, and specialty produce. We encounter a deeper biological challenge: pollination. Pollination is not simply a natural process, it is an economic bottleneck. Without efficient pollination, yield consistency drops, fruit quality declines, and commercial scalability becomes limited. This is what Panama Corp, under its subsidiary Panama IROX, has done successful pilot projects and filed patents. Recent innovations such as controlled airflow-based pollination systems being developed in advanced research environments demonstrate that we must move forward much beyond traditional thinking. Instead of importing bees or deploying robotics alone, we must engineer ecosystems. Artificial intelligence now allows us to model microclimates, simulate environmental cues, regulate airflow patterns, and measure plant response in real time. AI is no longer just optimizing growth, it is beginning to replicate biological systems inside controlled environments. At Panama HydroX, we believe the future of indoor farming is not about growing plants, it is about designing intelligent ecosystems where light spectrum engineering, airflow precision, sensor networks, and AI-driven climate control work together to enable natural, biological, functional indoor farming. This is evolution of agriculture from controlled environment farming to controlled ecosystem engineering.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Vivek. What an amazing journey. We're really hoping for great things to come. And of course, it matters because we need it every 4 hours. Thank you for sharing. With that, I come to Professor Nitin Saxena. He's the head of the Wadhwani School of AI and Intelligent Systems at IIT Kanpur. I come from Uttar Pradesh. I was born in Lucknow. If we were a country, we'd be the 5th largest country in the world. We understand the value of opportunity of bridging conversations between academia and industry. Take it away, Nitin.
Yeah, hello. Thank you for this opportunity to be here. And I thank all the audience who are sitting and especially the ones who are standing here. So many good points have been made. I'll just be quick about the points which are still missing. So since I come from academia and I'm the dean of a new school in IITK. So one confusion that policy makers usually have is that that India should be doing research in AI more and more. And through research, good things will happen. That is not quite true in this new world, in this new area of AI, because so traditional research is not enough. So what actually is needed is slightly different, and others have basically said that the mindset which is required is the mindset of a startup. So it's not that you hire more professors and you hire more PhD students and you form a group that will do research, but what is actually needed is each professor's lab should have the mentality of a startup. So which means many things, which means that it should be a dynamic group. It should look at the utility of the research. It should look at a profit model. So whatever is happening, whatever is being created, there should be a client for it. And there should be a government agency or a client who is willing to pay for it. So that mentality is actually very different from what Indian universities currently have, or traditionally what they have had. So we have been moving in that direction. We have been making some changes in ITK, and we have been trying to bring this startup spirit in AI research, because without that, whatever promises are being made, they cannot be fulfilled. So AI research is not really fundamental research. It's something more to do with, as was also pointed out in other panel comments, that it is to do with identifying problems in your core area and see whether AI can be used to get more insight. And while you do it, you have to be aware that the intelligence of AI is inherently jagged, which means that it will make mistakes and it will not have guarantees. So this is not a guaranteed tech. It's a tech which is statistical. So sometimes it fails, many times it works, but when it fails, you actually don't know why it fails. And when it works because you are being lucky. So it has that jagged behavior, which is why you cannot use it to actually run autonomously cars and especially planes or do medical treatment. So there has to be somebody who is an expert and who takes responsibility for this. So this is very important. And in the setting of India, another thing which is important is that it has to be frugal so that people can actually use it. It should be utilitarian, it should be frugal. And so with this startup mentality in universities, what we are moving towards, I think, is like PhDs and MTech theses, they should be now awarded based on products. So instead of just publications and research, it should more be, at least there should be an option of awarding them based on products.
Thank you.
So I think my time is up. Thank you.
No, I think you've left so much for us to think about and opened up new frameworks. Please give him a round of applause. And I want to come with that conversation to taking this from India to Bharat. I want to give you Ms. Tripta Thakur, who's been not just a DG of NTPI, she's the first woman vice chancellor of UTU, a university in Uttarakhand. I've just come from her amazing campus. She's a formidable woman leader who's putting the conversation between upskilling, between preparing India's future. She's investing a lot in growing technical frameworks and making sure that AI reaches the unreached and the most underserved communities. Very, very rich background. Over to you, ma'am, for your opening comments.
Thank you, Shubhi, and thanks for the opportunity. Thanks to all the people who are standing. And this shows that how important is the AI summit. Only thing which I want to say in this as an opening remark, I worked with, as a Director General, National Power Training Institute, which is the apex body for training and capacity building. So when I started that journey, I was also the first women DG in NPTI also in the 60 years of beginning of NPTI. So when we were moving in the power sector, still we know that we are number 3rd in the world as far as generation capacity is concerned. But in 78 years, we achieved this 500 gigawatt, and we want to double this capacity within 20 years. So this is possible only with the help of technology, and we were trying to put digitalization in every aspect of the value chain of the power sector. But we also know that we have to make our system cyber resilient, but so critical infrastructure needs lot of cyber resilience as well. So we started lot of training program. And when I joined as a UTU, my responsibility is more than double because we need to prepare manpower who will work with the industry very closely. And I have worked and I have realized that there is a huge gap between academia and industry. So how to fill this gap, how to produce the manpower which are suitable, especially in this era where everything is changing with the impact of AI. So there is a need to make AI compulsory courses rather than elective courses. So I'm very sure AICT will take initiative very soon, like they have made environmental as a core subject in every engineering discipline. They will make AI, and especially when this session is very important. Thanks, Shubhi, for designing this, because this is the time when we need to speak about ethics. And this ethics responsibility shall begin with the students who have entered into engineering field. So a lot of challenges, and I'm very sure that with this kind of environment where we are in, Bharat is not taking technology which is 20 years old. It is working, developing, training, reskilling at the right time when everyone is participating in this. Thank you. Looking forward.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. And I'm so delighted that we have leaders like you who will take this conversation from India to Bharat. I'm very, very hopeful that when policy, academia, government, its intent, it is action which is working in cohesion to make sure magic happens, and that's what we're solving towards, which brings us to a very, very important stakeholder. Dr. Arvind Kumar, India needs not just AI models, but AI ecosystems. You know, with your experience as the Director General of STPI, Software Technology Parks of India, you've also been on the other side of the table as a regulator with TRAI, which is the Telecom Authority of India. And telecom's journey in India has been incredible. How do you see this ecosystem? What is it that you're doing at STPI? What is it that you see happening in the corridors of power? How is it that India is solving for things differently? Over to you, please.
Thank you, Suvi. If you see the whole, maybe last 500 years, there are 3 big revolutions. First revolution came in the form of electricity. Ease the life. Second came in the form of internet. Information symmetry, access well, inclusive growth. And third, this revolution is in terms of AI. The difference is here now, government is all with you. I mean, first time, otherwise generally you leave any new technology to the companies, let them work, private companies job, it IIT's job, it is this job. But now first time, government is with all innovators. We have created the AI mission, which is supporting all pillars of the AI. Whether it is you need compute, you need some support for developing application, you need support for LLMs, you need support for foundation model, you need support for creating wrappers. Every support is being provided by the government. In fact, government, this model of democratizing compute facility is a unique to India, and many country wants to copy it. But they want how you are able to do it. We are providing more than 38,000 GPU for the innovators for at very subsidized rate to our country. I mean, this is one big thing which we are going to do. Similarly, we are providing full support to LLM models, like Bharat GPT is one of them, and then foundation model we are supporting. So government is all with innovators, providing all types of the support. All layers are being supported in this, and then a lot of startup is also working. In fact, AI is not something which is new. I did my engineering 30 years back. At that time, there was a paper on AI. In fact, if I remember, when I appeared in the engineering services, the question was short comment on AI. But but what is new now is that now we have a lot of data. At that time, we were just talking about the AI, neural network, this network, that was theory. We were not able to understand because we can't feel it. Now we can feel it because we have a lot of data. And the biggest advantage of India is that we have 1.4 billion. So this data of 1.4 billion, now is this opportune time to capitalize it. So you need three things for AI. One is compute facility, another is data, and third is algorithms, which is your logical thinking. I think we always been good in logical thinking. When this Y2K problem came, we have developed such a big IT industry. Today we have more than 200 billion US dollar export from ITS services. So we are not like Western world where you create a model, 3 years you take to create a model, then you solve it. We directly solve it. This kind of the capability we have. So this is the right time. This is the right time for India to lead the world from the front when it comes to AI.
Thank you so much, Arvindji. We're so happy that we're in very, very safe hands, and we've got the full might of the government backing our dreams and aspirations. With that, I come to you, Ravi. Ravi, you have a global charter. You look at different geographies. You look at how things are happening across the world. Trust in AI isn't just a policy goal. It's a technical and operational requirement for global networks to function. It is also stability in policy that ensures that we get investments in a country. For a platform like MasterCard, which operates at the intersection of billions of transactions, how do you practically embed responsible AI into your core at MasterCard and products as well as processes, and what's the message for people building in India?
Great. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Phoebe. So as you mentioned, MasterCard, we are a payments technology company, right? Now, we are operating in over 210 countries, territories. We process over 180 billion transactions every year, right? And in 150 different currencies around the world. Every day, every single minute, transactions are taking place, right? And for all of that to happen, the underlying imperative is trust, because you have to trust the mechanism of payments. Today, digital has transformed our country, here India also, tremendously, and taken a big leap forward, right? So the underpinning is trust. And then I think, like for us, I think, AI, when I look at it, is something I think before it became really a very, very big buzz. For us, it has been foundational, probably over the last 2 to 3 decades, in and day out, from fraud solutions, technology that we embed, day to day, right? Because at the end of the day, how do we leverage and harness these models in order for betterment of society, right? How do we get small leasehold farmers better access to products and solutions and services, better data, right, and better pricing for their product? How do we unlock for women entrepreneurs? How do we make sure that we are talking not only about inclusion or financial inclusion, we are talking about financial health. Because financial health is what is important. Inclusion means you get somebody into the fold. Health only comes when there is resilience and longer-term sustainability, and there is a repeat factor involved. And we want SMEs to be healthy. We want SMEs to be able to plug into global supply chains, from every part of the country. All of that requires, us when we embed AI, it is not aspirational, it is very operational in day-to-day what we do, and it's responsible AI. So, and we are governed by a very very stringent set of governance and tech principles. As I was driving in this morning and looking at all of the big posters with Honorable Prime Minister's messages around AI and the summit, everything that I think we take as foundational in terms of our principles resonated with me, right? Because we talk about what is responsible, what is needed as we build products and solutions and services is there needs to be security and privacy, right? Best-in-class security, trust and transparency. How do we collect your data? How do we share data? We firmly believe at MasterCard that you own your data. You're responsible for how you have the right to say how it should be used. Our job is to protect it. Right? And there needs to be accountability when we are talking about AI. There needs to be a robust governance program with proper controls. We have to minimize bias. There needs to be fairness. It needs to be a human-centric design. These are core principles that at MasterCard, when we talk about inclusivity by design, and there needs to be social impact. Because how do we take data and technology to make a positive impact to communities? So that is really what we are focused on at MasterCard, and how in every product, service, solution that our teams are working on, we make sure that it is all responsible and ethical AI. And I think what we see as the big opportunity going forward is this intersection about between public and private, right? That dialogue and harmonization is needed in terms of standards, regulatory harmonization. So where inclusion and innovation kind of reinforce each other rather than competing with each other.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ravi. And I'm so glad that the financial architecture is absolutely safe. He's also given you core principles when you decide to build your business. I'm so glad that Ravi is joined by his team. They have 4 more sessions. They have a very active AI garage. And we are so happy that they partner with InMobi. They partner with us at Tata Sons. And they've created a free for all use kit, which is an MSME toolkit that's talking about how do you make sure your businesses are safe. They are looking at practicing responsible AI. I'm so glad that we could have him join us. With that, I come.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ravi. With that, I come to Ankush. And Ankush, as we discussed, is building both Core over AI. He's also the co-founder of Bharat GPT. Ankush Korova has built conversational AI systems. They are used at scale in India. What are the biggest real-world risks that you've encountered in deploying AI for citizens at scale?
I don't think I've encountered any risk, and we have any risk. It's just about. I think the current risk is not being defocused, not having FOMO, not being get diluted from our vision, from so much chaos around the world, right? I agree. I kind of based on the farmer here. Good to see this attire, farmer can wear. So we have some kind of stereotyping which is wrong. See, I think if you see, I think agriculture is one of the oldest field sector. I'm not sure that they're called as industry or not. It's just one of the oldest sector, isn't it? from mankind. Maybe hunting and all that, that never became the sector. But agriculture was one of the early revolutions, I would say, right? So now if you think, did we solve all the problem of agriculture? Did we solve, because that is core, right? These many things are secondary, travel, entertainment, maybe education also, maybe healthcare also, if we believe in God, time aayega chale jayenge, right? So I think food is important, right? And we have not solved all the problem of food. See, still someone has to sow the seed, nurture it, harvest it, transport it, cut it, clean it, cook it, eat also, right? And I don't understand why people, right? So the serial entrepreneur stuff and jumping from one to another. And one company, well, many companies, if you see, they have launched some product a month ago, and now they're launching another product. After 1 month, they launch another product. Why? Whatever you launched 3 months ago, so has that been scaled? Has that been perfected? Has that created an impact? I think it's all the risk which I perceive. So far, I'm not so much deluded, but I think that is a risk, I think.
Thank you so much, Ankush, for drawing our focus on things that truly matter. And Vivek, of course, whenever you go to a room, you surprise the room. You also inspire the room. You operate at the intersection of AI, climate resilience, and food systems. Where is it that you're seeing the next movement for Panama Corporation? What does responsible AI actually look like? And how do you see using AI in pharma? And farming, how are things changing for you? What is the message that you want this room to go away with?
Yeah, I want to tell.
Vivek, could you hold the mic a little closer?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, regarding farming, if you talk about being responsible, AI, let me take you inside one of our controlled environmental farms at 5:30 in the morning. There is no sunrise inside, no soil, no changing weather, just rows of vertical crops growing under calibrated light. In that silent space, thousands of decisions are being made every second. Humidity adjusts slightly, nutrient composition changes every second because the plant has entered a new growth stage. Irrigation pauses because the roots have absorbed enough oxygen. All of this is guided by AI. Now, here is the reality. If the AI makes a wrong decision, we do not lose a spreadsheet. We lose an entire crop cycle. We lose farmer income. We disrupt supply chains. We affect food on someone's table. In agriculture, responsible AI is not philosophy. We cannot afford black box systems. Every recommendation must be explainable to the farm operator. Every sensor must be calibrated and verified. Every model must be tested across multiple crop cycles. We validate outcomes continuously. AI supports human judgment. It does not replace it. For us, responsible AI begins with clean data, reliable hardware, transparent logic, and constant monitoring. It means building systems that are predictable, resilient, and sustainable. When a farmer who once depend entirely on uncertain monsoons can grow 365 days a year with minimal crop loss, that is responsible AI in action. It is not about compliance alone. It is about food security, climate resilience, and economic stability. On our farms, responsibility means ensuring that on any given day, families can depend on safe and consistent food.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Vivek. It firmly puts a spotlight on what are the issues at stake, where the risks are, and what is it that we're really solving for. A very deeply humbling moment. With that, I come to you, Triptaji, as someone who's worked deeply in power systems and smart grids. How do you see AI changing critical infrastructure? What does responsible deployment mean in such a high-risk sector? And how do you see that translating into education and learning training too?
Thank you. Very apt question. We all know that how critical infrastructure, especially power, is very important. But we have seen that with this technology, AI penetration, our grid is changing. It is becoming smart. And instead of becoming deterministic, it is predictive. So this is very important for us because we all know that world is facing two major challenges. One is energy security. The second one is environmental concern. And both the challenges have one solution, that is more and more renewable energy. So we are again number third in the world as far as installed capacity of renewable capacity is concerned. We have met our target very early. So with this renewable, which is unpredictable in nature, we really need to integrate in the grid. And for that purpose, the AI is going to help us a lot for making our grid very, very efficient. And we can incorporate the system integration issues which can arise because of the renewable energy penetration into the grid. Also, this AI is going to help us for not waiting for the fault to occur, but before the fault, we could predict the fault and remove the fault. And so our grid in future will become self-healing grid. So this AI, but again, as we are going for smart meters everywhere in distribution sector, which is the weakest link in the value chain, but we are improving our distribution sector, and we have smart meter everywhere. So we are giving the tool to the every consumer. So it's very important that we have to have very responsible consumer. We have to have cyber resilient team which is working there, and we need to have experts who can solve anything comes across. As mentioned by Professor from IIT Kanpur, that we need to prepare that if model fails, what happens. So like in financial sector, we cannot say that we are going to use in electricity sector black box. We need to understand what is happening. Our engineers need to understand what is happening for load management, because electricity sector is all about matching demand and supply. So our engineer need to understand how we are going to design the flexibility into the system, how we are going to design the demand response, load forecasting. So our engineers are not going to replace by AI. But certainly an engineer which does not understand AI are going to replace by others. So this AI is not going to improve our efficiency, but it is going to help as a very important sathi in the entire value chain of electricity sector.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Tripta ji. It's very important to note that India is one of the third largest attacked nations when it comes to critical infrastructure. Every single day, we lose value, we lose critical functionalities. And there are frameworks that are being worked upon, and which is why I want to bring in one of the foremost scientists, researchers, academicians, who's also a philosopher in his own right, to do the closing comments on the panel. Nitin, which parts of the AI stack, data standards, benchmark models are most critical to standardize for reusability while preserving local context? And we've also been solving for the global south. You have various initiatives that you pioneer and champion. Please do share your views.
Yeah, thank you. So the most important aspect that Indian agencies, I mean, since we work on so many products for them, we build products for them, in my experience, the most important parameter or the thing to change is the data standard. So data, since not all the state governments, local bodies, even central government ministries and departments, since they are not completely digitized, most of the time what we see is, since the digitization is not complete or it's not very advanced, just shifting directly to AI tools is not easy. It is actually impossible. It doesn't give any further efficiency. So data standard is very important. If a department or if your organization wants to use AI, the only way, I mean, first of all, it is not clear whether AI will help you. So you have to first understand whether it is going to improve your profit margins, your cash flow. So because the measure of your basically whether AI will help you has to be decided in a utilitarian way. It is not for it should not be a status symbol that you are using AI, but it should be on actual grounds. So for that, data standard is very important. And the other thing is that for the AI algorithm itself or AI tools itself, they get better only when there is enough data. So it is not just that you want to use it, but it's also that AI want to AI is very data hungry. So for example, ChatGPT magic, so when the model is trained, that magic starts happening only when it has seen around 100 billion to 1 trillion words. So at 1 billion, 10 billion, 100 billion, magic is not there. The magic only happens when it goes beyond 100 billion words of training. So something happens there. The architecture is very big. It has 1 trillion parameters. And those parameters actually, at that point, they learn enough so that they can surprise you. So you can ask, you can give any prompt and it gives you answers which are surprisingly intelligent. So that magic can be achieved only when the data is enough and there is a standard and when the training is enough, and then you have to validate it. Do I have more time or?
That's it. I think that does it.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Ravi? Sure.
I think, you mentioned about Global South, and, I think one of the things that comes to my mind is that, the whole India's AI for Bharat vision, it is, kind of reframing responsible AI away from abstract principles to a very infrastructure-led deployment, right? And I think that positions India to lead by demonstration rather than regulation export, And I think what India is showing that instead of prescribing rules up front, India is showing how trust, safety, accountability can be embedded into real-world systems which are handling billions of transactions, right? So many global south countries are facing very similar constraints because their large population, limited regulatory capacity, linguistic diversity, right? And this approach is more replicable, what is happening in India than an EU-style, kind of regulatory density or US-style market-led governance. So I think in multilateral forums, what we are seeing is that the India model is increasingly bridging this gap between the global north and the developing country realities. And I think it is offering a very pragmatic way forward in terms of governance. And I think obviously, all of these principles that we talked about in, that all the panelists have touched on are very foundational to how we'll continue to grow and scale.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ravi, for making my job easier. I want to thank this room first. I know a lot of you stood up, and that on a Monday morning tells you why this is such a pressing issue, why you showed up. I really want to thank all my panelists for enriching this conversation. And before you leave, what is really at stake? It's trust. If we do not trust, if we do not build trust. So while there are many, many countries that have solved for trust in manufacturing, they've created green channel corridors, what is India building which is so special? I'm not so worried about our products at scale. When 1.4 billion people decide to build something, there is nobody in the world that can stop us. What we're solving for is this conversation should not be concentrated in metros, in urban cities. And therefore, this is so important that you have such a diverse set of stakeholders in this room present. You have voices from academia. You have voices from someone who works with the World Bank, has trained young women, is creating a W Ahead program. You have a farmer who surprised all of you by telling you that the modern fields do not look like what they used to. They're silent rooms, and any little bit of tinkering is not just going to impact spreadsheets, it's going to impact real food on the table. You have somebody who's been at the foremost of regulation policy unlocks. As a policy professional, it is my dream to have someone who's like Arvindji. You know why that matters? You want someone with an open door. You have someone with whom you can brainstorm things. You want someone who can build capacity for you, and you want someone who puts public interest, public consultation at the heart of public policy, which is what is happening today at METI, at the India Air Mission. I don't think any of us would have been together in this room without Shri Abhishek Singh, without our formidable Prime Minister who loves technology, who understands technology like nobody's business, and our Secretary, Shri Krishnan, who's unlocking an entire ecosystem in manufacturing in India. You've got someone like Ravi who makes policy feel like music. He makes it smooth. He makes it so engaging that he's building a next generation of policy professionals. You've got a brilliant startup and ecosystem founder in Ankush who's made sure that our aspirations are not limited to India. As a young 20-year-old, I'm not sure what was going on, but you managed to unlock talent. You managed to not give up. And I say this in particular a reference because being an entrepreneur is a very lonely journey. You've got two of them from very different sectors who are telling you what's possible in India. And I'm so glad that we've got someone like Professor Nitin Saxena on the panel. Some of my most inspiring moments, insights have come from brilliant teachers. And in India, that's why I want to bring this conversation to a close towards a responsible AI framework. Knowledge has always been dialogic. You would ask a question and your teachers would give you answers, which is what is happening at IIT Kanpur, which is happening at his school, which is what is happening in the projects that India is inspiring. In our world, we like to say sunlight is the best form of disinfectant. When we ask for transparency and accountability, we do not ask for black boxes. We ask for explainable standards in AI. When we are looking for responsible AI, which is what this panel decided to bring for you today, we have time for one question. Yes, the gentleman in the front, quickly identify yourself. Ask a very short question, please, sir. Yeah, you can take this. Please identify yourself and tell us who you would like to respond
So I'm Dr. Jain from DRDO. I work in rocket sciences. So my question is to Professor Nitin Saxena. In fact, I appreciate his viewpoint that the academics should go to the products.
We request the people at the back to please remain seated.
My question is that you said there is a 1% of uncertainty when AI is giving answer. So when it comes to the medical diagnostics or engineering simulation, how do you take it? It's a confidence where we need 100%. So what is
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your question and thank you for all the exceptional work at DRDO.
Thank you.
Professor Saxena.
Yeah, so the solution for that is simple. Ultimately, the reports have to be signed by a doctor who is a human being and who is a professional, experienced professional. It cannot be an unsigned report. So whatever happens in the background is just more data, faster analysis, but then ultimately the responsibility lies with an experienced professional.
Thank you so much. I want the room to please give a huge round of applause to all our panelists and to yourselves for being so patient and for such an engaging audience. Yashvi, can I please ask you to do the honors? And may I request all our panelists to please step forward for a group picture? Thank you. Sir, aage aa jaye.